Everything Everywhere All at Once follows the story of Evelyn Wang as she embarks on an insane quest to save the world by exploring the multiverse, connecting the lives she could have lived. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this film's review. Thank you so much, guys, for clicking this. I really do appreciate it, as always. This is a movie that I wasn't really sure of. I've watched the trailers, I've seen the ads. I just wasn't quite sure of it, but then I started delving into what the plot was, what it was about, and started looking at all the reviews that people's done on here and what I've read. All pretty positives, mixed to positives. So I was like, okay, yeah, this has got my curiosity. Yeah, I'll give it a try. My theater started playing it, and then my injury happened. The rest for there. But as luck would have it, my theater brought it back. This weekend, actually. So I had the fortune of going to see it. And let me just say, was I impressed? Did this really satisfy me? Was this worth the wait? Did it pass my bar of expectations, or was it a dud? Let's find out, starting with the positives for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Let's just get the easy ones out of the way. Michelle Yeoh was perfect in this. She was terrific in this movie. I don't see her pop up on my radar much. First one I've seen her in was The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. That's the first one I've seen her in. And since then, she's popped up here and there, but not religiously. But in this movie, she was great. She was great as the main character, as the glue of this whole entire plot. Basically, this character that just gets a taste of, there's a multiverse out there, and there's like other me's. What am I supposed to do with this? And just the way she acted, and the way she acted towards this whole entire thing, when the alternate versions of her husband kept on coming, and the one that she was talking to, and telling her everything, and how this bad thing is coming, it's going to wipe us out, and you got to do something. But this version of this character was just all confused. She didn't know what the hell was going on, and she played it off pretty well. She really nailed it. I like this actress. I wish she was in more stuff that I would watch. I know she's in a lot of stuff, but it's just mostly not stuff that I watch, not my genre. But I like what I see of her. I like when I see her. She's just someone in this movie that these crazy things just happens to her, and it just, like I said, she plays it all pretty well. Not to mention we got Short Round from Temple of Doom, and I'm not going to say this dude's name because I know I will butcher it. I have not seen that guy act since the 80s. He was in Temple of Doom and Goonies, supposedly. Then he quit acting, I guess, to pursue other stuff. And I guess he had a realization saying, oh, I'm going to get back in this, and I think this is a perfect script for me. And let me say, this dude, he shined. He really did shine. Where has he been? I mean, from the mid-'80s to now. And it's like, come on, that's such a waste, dude. You're good. And there's like a certain aspect of him that really reminds me of Jackie Chan. And it's uncanny how much he looked like him. First couple of times I've heard about this and I watched the trailers, I actually, honest to God, thought that was Jackie Chan. But then whenever I discovered who it actually was, I was like, oh yeah, it's that guy. It's the kid from Temple of Doom. Awesome. But he definitely shined. He definitely had his badass moment in this movie. Yeah, he had that kick-ass quality about him that just, defined him. To sum it all up, he was just awesome. I pray to God that I actually do see him in more stuff. That's for damn sure. The action was pretty much high adrenaline. Think of Mad Max mixed in with some Kung Fu meets Crank. On speed. That's kind of how it was. Just combine all those up with the Mad Max film and the Kung Fu style of fighting with how Crank was, and you get this movie. I don't know if that's how any of y'all will see it, but that's how I saw it. And the action was very confined, but it worked. It worked. It was presented in a very unique way. Like there was a lot of fighting and kung fu, and it mostly focused on the fighting. Whenever it came to the multiverse concept, the way they presented that was pretty unique. This woman would get yanked back, and the screen, you could see her being sucked in, and just the way the motion capture and the way it was shot, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And there was some parts of it where when like reality breaks, you would see like glass breaking on the screen, like the screen cracking as a way of breaking reality, space, and time, which was pretty interesting.
What's happening?
And I thought that was pretty unique. That was another interesting way that they presented it. Nobody had to go out in space. Nobody opened up any interdimensional portal or anything like they would constantly do in the Marvel movies. This is not a Marvel movie, but it does deal with a concept that those movies heavily relied on. Again, this could very easily be a Marvel movie because this woman dealt with a supervillain in a way. But again, the action was very confined, but again, it was done in a very unique way. So much so that I really appreciated it. It was very fast paced, and the only time it slowed down was for the benefit of the story, was detriment to the story. That's the only time it slowed down, which is another positive. Speaking of, the story was decent. You have to pay attention. This is one of those movies where you kind of have to pay attention. Not as much as The Green Knight, because that was more confusing, but this, she deals with the multiverse and visits all these different versions of herself. It's like, okay, what if I tapped into the multiverse and there was another version of Calvin and he was not in a wheelchair and he was a big movie executive? Yeah, I'd visit that reality anytime. And that's pretty much what this woman in this movie was doing. And when she was trying to figure out what was going on, and she was trying to tap into her other selves in these other worlds, and that was pretty interesting. There's this one universe that this lady visited where everybody had hot dogs for hands. And what I mean by that is their fingers were limp. There's not a single bone in these people's fingers. The whole world just consisted of these people having limp fingers. Which brings me to the humor. It's just not something that you take lightly in this. They went over subtonic level overboard on the humor. And of course, this being rated R, it was nothing but hardcore, adulterated, field humor. That just adds on to the level of craziness this movie brought. It was just something that, in one word, just crazy. People would literally play the piano with their feet. And it is pretty much like a gorilla-type planet. But they were human, but they just couldn't use their hands because of their hot dog fingers. It's just crazy, the level of humor and the level of craziness this movie brought. Plus the fact that they threw in these weird things that the characters would have to do to tap into their powers when they wanted to fight. Things that I can't really say on here, but you just gotta have to watch the movie, but they were pretty weird. They were just, again, adding to that level of humor that they smeared everywhere, all over this film. It just goes to show you that it felt original. And it really goes to show you, you could probably make a very, very low budgeted superhero movie. This movie was made for a dime, just about. I think this one was made for like $24 million. And it still dealt with the multiverse, but it didn't have as much special effects and big explosions and this and that. It mostly dealt with the fighting, so it might not do all that well in the Marvel movie if you replaced this lady, this character, Michelle Yeoh's character, just place the Michelle Yeoh character with someone from the MCU, and there you have it. Though it might not sell as well, but I could see it being doable. The only negative I have about it, they do this weird thing with these googly eyes where they just show up randomly, and sometimes people will put it on their forehead for, like, I guess, emphasis or something like that. I never really got nothing in that. I never really got anything out of that. It didn't really do that much for the movie. And there was a part in there where a character actually did say that was stupid. I mean, I know they were meaning it as a joke, but They actually admitted that, this was stupid right after the googly eyes got put on a character or whatever. And they just, like I said, they just randomly showed up. Was that really necessary? I don't think so. But then in the end, I really did enjoy this movie. As silly as it was, and believe me, there was some serious, silly moments, almost cartoon-like. I enjoyed this movie. I had a really great time. It just felt like one of those original concepts that everybody claims that Hollywood can't do nowadays, which if you look really close, and I know it's like finding a needle in a stack of needles. If you look really close, you'll find an original concept. It's out there, and this movie proves it. Just look. That's all you gotta do. There's no denying it. This movie is definitely worth it. It deserves to be on a pedestal. So, Everything Everywhere All at Once. What was your thoughts on it? Have you seen it yet? What did you think of this crazy wackadoo ride? Did you find it entertaining? Did you lose any brain cells along the way? Because believe me, I kind of felt like I did, but in a good way because it was so crazy. Or was this not for you? Leave me your comment down below and give me your thoughts. Thank you so much, guys, as always, for watching. I really do appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. And click that bell icon so you don't miss a thing. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.